The death toll is lower than initially feared, and no additional survivors or bodies have been found since Monday night. The fire department said its goal was to conduct 3 searches of each location just to be sure. Heavy rain has been hampering the rescue effort.
An emotional hunt for survivors through the miles of wreckage left by the Oklahoma tornado. In the town of Moore, whole neighborhoods have been flattened, buildings torn to pieces. Shocked residents were finding it hard to take in the extent of the devastation.
You never expect it to happen, and when it does happen, there's no preparing for it.
As President Barack Obama declared the tornado a major disaster, rescue teams worked through the night, sifting through the rubble for any trapped survivors. Silent groups were sent to walk the streets, listening out for any sounds from beneath the wreckage. Efforts have been particularly concentrated around 2 schools damaged by the monstrous twister. Scores of deaths, including children, were reported at the Plaza Towers Elementary School.
The rescue and recovery effort is not limited to those in uniform. 15-year-old Morgan Smith rode out the storm in an underground shelter. When she emerged, a neighbor was trapped in the debris across the street.
Me and my mom ran across the street and came over here, and we dug her out of where that red thing is. She was down right behind that.
Rescuers have now scoured this neighborhood at least twice. On this pass, all they find is empty homes. But Sergeant Mike Bell says he had to be here. This is personal. This is home.
As an Oklahoman, it hurts.
His state changed forever.
The local fire chief says emergency teams have left nothing to chance.
We started with a primary search yesterday and a secondary search. We made it through, I will say, most of the structures, most of the vehicles, most of the homes, but the ones that we didn't make it through yesterday, we will make it through today for sure, and a second and third time. We will be through every damaged piece of property in this city at least 3 times before we're done.
They've continued to pull survivors from ruined buildings throughout the day. The death toll has been revised down from 51 after initial confusion over numbers.
President Barack Obama addressed the nation and promised to do what was needed to rebuild.
The people of Moore should know that their country will remain on the ground, there for them, beside them, as long as it takes.
And Oklahoma's governor says the state is reeling from days of tornadoes, but remains resilient.
In the midst of tragedy and loss of life, we've also seen the resilience and the courage and the strength of our people. And we will get through this, we will overcome, and we will rebuild, and we will regain our strength.
While rescue efforts continue, people are still watching the weather, with more storms predicted for Oklahoma and the town that suffered most.
Well, as the tragic aftermath of the Oklahoma tornado disaster continues to unfold, one very clear and constant picture is emerging from the super talented and richly blessed professional athletes we often feature week in and week out here. Take, for example, the Oklahoma City Thunder's Kevin Durant, who was quick to donate $1 million to the Red Cross relief effort in the devastated town of Moore. And in further acts of generosity, his team, along with the NBA and the Players Association, have also contributed another $1 million each.
God told me to, do something to help these families out, and that's the first thing I thought of. It's the first thing he popped in my mind. So, I'm just trying to do anything I can to help. It's such a tough situation. Some of those things you can't get back. But I just try to help the families out as much as I can.